Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Basically we are talking about the 47th part basically of the Formula Award. And basically till now basically we have not yet discussed the PMP formula only. We are just discussing the how basically PMP company basically we can give a name basically. It's the PMI Penbok basically right companies basically you can say. They have created the project management plan each and every SDLC formulas basically you can say. So they have created and they have created on the base of set of attributes and the set of attributes basically contains this each and everything basically you can say. Here basically we are discussing about one interesting topic that is basically you can say uh, project management plan contains the each and every expenses basically you can say each and every expenses basically you can say that one person asked basically the one question basically that is how basically you can say that how basically you can say that this is going to generate vegetable, that is going to generate vegetable, that oil is going to generate, that for project is going to generate oil basically on the base of what basically because in previous days basically um the land was there, so on the base of land basically we were getting the each and every vegetables. We have to do, the farmers are there, the farmers basically were doing lots of process, lots of seeds basically were digged inside the land basically, and then basically the vegetables gets prepared basically. So there are basically long process which was done. That was basically done in the land basically you can say. The land basically contains that type of. So basically now basically one question basically one person asked that basically if you are creating vegetables from the software then basically where is the land basically, because without land basically that vegetables are not going to be prepared. The cabbage for example, we are preparing cabbage, then basically where basically we are preparing the cabbage, where is the land basically. Even the software is basically just a virtual basically, you can't touch the thing basically, right? That is basically the one software that you can touch, you can touch only computer basically, you can touch software, no it's not, because that's a virtual basically set of programming has done and according to the programming, but you can touch the physical things basically. That is basically you can say the power supply which is getting from the physical location. That physical location you can touch, but you can't touch the software basically you can say. So here basically we are talking about that the physical land which is basically getting create to create the vegetable from the software. That is basically you can say set of energy companies, power companies, and the new name basically came here. That is basically a nuclear parts company. Basically. Each and every industry basically is directly connected with the set of nuclear plant basically you can say. For example, iron industries are there. They are basically connected with set of nuclear plants. Steel industries are there. They are connected with the set of nuclear plants. Water creation plant are there. They are connected with the set of nuclear plants. Nuclear plant means it's a maximum basically you can say. Here basically maximum things, whatever things you get here, that is the maximum. So it's like that. Nuclear means nuclear plant means maximum things basically you will get from here. Each and everything basically. In short, basically you can say each and everything you are going to get from the nuclear plant basically. So basically this nuclear plant, the software, the energy department, the energy companies and the power companies, that are basically you can say the land basically. So land basically, if it's a land, then basically you have to here basically in natural basically the land is already created, right? But in this software industry, you are creating the vegetables from the software energy. Then basically you have to create the land first basically. For that basically a set of energy companies and power companies are already created, and that basically contains the land basically. They create the set of areas basically where the each and every energies are going to processed, then set of more process happen like this basically the process keeps on happening, and assume that there are 100 to 200 process happens. After that basically you get the raw material of the vegetables. Basically, you can give them name as a chemical basically. From that chemical, basically you gets the vegetable, and then after that, basically set of more process, thousands, the hundreds of process happen after the chemical creation. The vegetable creations happen there. Basically, thousands of process happens. So basically, it's not so easy to create one vegetable also. That's why basically I always tells one word basically. If your company is having more than 1 lakh crore rupees budget, then only basically you can able to create these all vegetables thing basically. You can say. So from soft to create from to create vegetables from the software, it's not so easy basically because it requires lots of asset. Minimum basically you can say 1 lakh crore rupees basically you can say because you need power plant, you need energy plant, each and everything basically you require. Then basically you need to connect with the set of nuclear companies basically. There basically you have to pay the money. So nuclear company basically takes lots of money. So basically here our topic is formula basically. But in formula basically we have taken here power companies, energy companies, and the nuclear plant also basically. So up to this level basically, if you are going to think you are going to create the balance sheet of the each and every attributes, then only you can able to deliver the successful basically software energy from the software set of software which is getting created on the base of set of formulas, and the formulas getting created on the base of set of attributes, and the attributes are getting created if you are creating the each and every balance sheet of the attributes, then basically you are going to give the perfect software energy you can say. You will not miss any of the basically you can say you are not going to miss any of the attributes basically, that also you can say. And yeah, any of the basically you can give one name, that is basically any of the industry data basically you are not going to miss, any of the sector data you are not going to miss. So basically like this you are not going to miss any of the data because you are creating the project sorry, you are creating the balance sheet, and you are on the base of balance sheet basically you are both side balance sheet are there. So basically if you are creating the balance sheet, then basically you are never going to miss basically. But in balance sheet creation also you need the data. Without data basically, so physical creation is always there, and without physical creation nothing happens. So manual work is always there. On the base of manual work only basically you get the computer data. So here basically we are talking about the billing data, sorry, the balance sheet data of the attributes basically, each and every attribute, that is basically AC. The AC is basically actual cost. So actual cost contains what all data, that data is must basically, otherwise the project management plan groups will not never going to get the exact income basically, never going to get the exact profit basically. If the never going the if project management plan people group is going to grow, then only basically software industry is going to grow. So this is basically base, this is the root basically of the software industry, that is basically SDLC basically group creation, SDLC plan basically, SDLC creation group basically, who are basically into the creation of SDLC, that is basically software development life cycle. And there basically the new topic basically, that is project management plan. And in that basically lots of formulas are there, and the formula basically contains lots of attributes, and the attributes basically must be included into the balance sheet basically, you can say. And that basically must contains the balance sheet, and without balance sheet I think my attribute will not get the correct picture basically, you can say. So basically mostly basically if the one I am talking about, the I am basically a normal person basically. I am a BCom basically, and not engineering background also. But basically if one normal BCom person can think up to this level basically, then basically SDLC, each and every project management plan, that basically are created from the energy engineering people basically, mostly B Tech, M Tech basically groups, B people, ME group people. So they will never miss, they are never going to miss this. So mostly we assume that the SDLC, each and everything basically, and the project management plan and the formulas basically, and the attributes basically are taken into picture on the base of balance sheet only. And on the creation, for example, each and there are, I assume that 200, 300 attributes are there of the formula. So there are 200, 300 balance sheet. So we assume that this SDLC department, SDLC groups, project management plan groups, formula groups, attributes created groups, attributes modification groups, they have 100% taken the each and every balance sheet into the picture. So basically, here basically we are talking stopping this part. Basically, that is 47th part. In 48th part, we basically we are going to discuss little bit more about the formula word.